Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Oh. Shoot, it's recording. I'm just kidding. Hello, everybody. My name is Blaine, and welcome to my brand new podcast. I say brand new, but this may be a one episode run, depending on how well it does. So I thought I would get out of my shell and try something kind of different, talk to myself for this first episode, and maybe in the future have some more people for me to talk to. So they're going to be kind of structured more around entertainment kind of things, kind of movie reviews and book reviews, that kind of thing. Maybe even the occasional theater performance. Along with some other stuff, some stories and whatnot. Just a general kind of way to relax. Sorry about that. Relax, kind of, wind down your day a little bit. Something that isn't super frantic, something that isn't too hurried in today's society. So let's just kind of kick back. Every episode, I'm going to start with an inspirational little quote. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. Infuse your life with action. Don't wait for it to happen. Make it happen. Make your own future. Make your own hope. Make your own love. And whatever your beliefs, honor your Creator. Not by passively waiting for grace to come down from upon high, but by doing what you can to make grace happen. Yourself. Right now, right down here on earth. By Bradley Whitford. Now, this quote, at least for me, it means a lot. And while you might hear it a lot that, you have to make your own future and you have to stay in the present moment. Yeah, it's said a lot, but the thing is, there's so much truth behind that. You have to make it happen. You have to make your own future happen. It's not going to come to you. It's going to happen with what you do. And you have to make sure that your future is first and foremost what you want to do. You can't make your future for somebody else, because you're never going to go through life happy if that's the case. I may sound like I'm preaching, and I'm not trying to, but it's my general belief that you need to make your own future happen in order to be happy. And, it's good to wind down and kind of sit back and look at it and say, is this what I want to be doing? And if it is, then hell yeah, you're on the right path, and that is what you want to do. But if you take a step back and you look at it and you say, man, what am I doing? Get up and do what you want, because you get one life. You get one life to do what you want. And to me, wasting that is just unexcusable. It's just, I can't even think about it. You need to get out there and do it for yourself. Of course, not trample over anybody to get what you want, but you need to live your life for you. Now, moving on from that little session, we're already about 4 minutes in. Okay, whatever. Cool. That's alright. I have no segues because I'm very inexperienced at this. So, tonight, the main topic that I'm going to be talking about as far as entertainment goes, I just got back from seeing the wonderful movie La La Land. This is a movie directed by Damien Chazelle. It has been getting a lot of praise lately. It was actually nominated for 14 Oscars at this year. Or last year. Whatever. The Golden Globes, it got 7 wins. It's kind of amazing. But enough about the what all the awards it got. So I'll get into my personal experience with the movie. So when I first saw the trailer, I'm not much for musical kind of movies. My very first experience was actually the movie adaptation of The Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler. And I gotta be honest, I was not impressed, because I've seen The Phantom live 3 times now, and I do have to say, seeing it live is so much better than that movie adaptation they did. it didn't do the movie justice. But anyways, getting back to La La Land, I wasn't super into it, but I decided, okay, I'll give it a shot, and I went with a good friend, Destiny. We went to see La La Land, and honestly, I was blown away. This movie, it's so different and amazing. I can't even describe how good this thing was. It was all about following your dreams, and that was the entire focus of the movie. So just to give you a quick rundown of the plot, the movie follows Sebastian, who is a young jazz pianist in Los Angeles, who ends up falling in love with a young aspiring actress named Mia. And both in their own ways are trying to pursue their dreams, not really getting anywhere. And when they come together, they have this chemistry, and it's all brought together. There's a lot of singing and dancing, and while it may sound kind of corny, it's put together so well, and it's got a lot of emotion behind it. Of course, with any movie, everything's going to have a little bit of rocky times and everything. I won't give too much away. It's just overall the tale of success and following your dreams. The ending, while kind of bittersweet, it's a happy ending. It really is. A lot of people don't see it that way, but it is a happy ending for what happens. Of course, Sebastian is played by Ryan Gosling, that hunk of sexiness that stars in The Notebook and all the other chick flicks that are so amazing. And Mia is played by the lovely Emma Stone, who has been in so many movies that I like, it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, and kind of bringing this back to even the quote that I had was, you gotta follow your dreams and you gotta live your life for yourself, because you're never gonna be truly happy if you don't go with where your conscience is, where your heart is. And that's the main reason for any of the conflict in the movie, is that they've kind of given up on their dreams and they're doing something else. But once again, not going to get into any spoilers. As far as the production of the movie went, it was fantastic. A lot of these musical sequences were done in one shot. Like, it was one sweeping shot that goes around to all this other stuff. It makes you wonder, god damn, how much time had they done and how many takes of every single thing, because it was perfect. Everything was in time with the music. Everything was fantastic. And Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, they actually did fairly well with the singing voices. I didn't know either one of them could sing. But yeah, like I said, it's a lot of sweeping shots and these long, drawn-out musical number sequences, but they're so good, and just the movie is very colorful in both its content and literally. It's a very colorful movie. As far as the acting goes, the acting was absolutely phenomenal. And one thing that's kind of interesting is, I find it interesting, is when actors try to play like they're auditioning in a movie and they act bad about it. It's so interesting to me, because you're not acting, you're acting like you're acting badly, but you're doing that very well. So it's kind of a little bit of a, a inception, if you will, whatever. That's probably not the correct term for that, but I really don't care at this point. So yeah, it was a fantastic movie. I would recommend it to everybody. 5 stars all the way around. It is absolutely fantastic. Sorry about that. My throat's a little parched. Okay, so anyways, next I'm going to read a inspirational short story that I found. It's called The Story of Rose. I found it on askalena.com. So I guess I'll just get right into it. Story of Rose. The first day of school, our professor introduced himself and challenged us to get to know someone we didn't already know. I stood up to look around when a gentle hand touched my shoulder. I turned around to find a wrinkled little old lady beaming up at me with a smile that lit up her entire being. She said, "Hi, handsome. My name's Rose. I'm 87 years old. Can I give you a hug?" I laughed and enthusiastically responded, "Of course you may." She gave me a giant squeeze. "Why are you in college at such a young, innocent age?" I asked. She jokingly replied, "I'm here to meet a rich husband, get married, have a couple of children, then retire and travel." "No, seriously," I asked. I was curious what may have motivated her to be taking on this challenge at her age. "I always dreamed of having a college education, and now I'm getting one," she told me. After class, we walked to the Student Union building and shared a chocolate milkshake. We became instant friends. Every day for the next 3 months, we would leave class together and talk non-stop. I was always mesmerized listening to this time machine as she shared her wisdom and experience with me. Over the course of the year, Rose became a campus icon as she easily made friends wherever she went. She loved to dress up, and she reveled in the attention bestowed upon her from the other students. She was living it up. At the end of the semester, we invited Rose to speak at our football banquet. I'll never forget what she taught us. She was introduced and stepped up to the podium. She began to deliver her prepared speech. She dropped her 3x5 cards on the floor. Frustrated and a little embarrassed, she leaned into the microphone and simply said, "I'm sorry I'm so jittery. I gave up beer for Lent and this whiskey is killing me. I'll never get my speech back in order, so let me just tell you what I know." As we laughed, she cleared her throat and began. "We do not stop playing because we are old. We grow old because we stop playing. There are only 4 secrets to staying young, being happy, and achieving success. You have to laugh and find humor every day. You've got to have a dream. When you lose your dreams, you die. We have so many people walking around who are dead and don't even know it. There's a huge difference between growing older and growing up. If you're 19 years old and lie in bed for 1 full year and don't do one productive thing, you'll turn 20 years old. If I'm 87 years old and can stay in bed for a year and never do anything, I will turn 88. Anybody can grow older. It doesn't take any talent or ability. The idea is to grow up by always finding the opportunity in change. Have no regrets. The elderly don't have regrets for what we did, but rather for things we did not do. The only people who fear death are those with regrets." She concluded her speech by courageously singing "The Rose." She challenged each of us to study the lyrics and live them out in our daily lives. At the year's end, Rose finished the college degree she had begun all those years ago. 1 week after graduation, Rose died peacefully in her sleep. Over 2,000 college students attended her funeral in tribute to the wonderful woman who taught by example that it's never too late to be all you can possibly be. We send these words in loving memory of Rose. Remember, growing older is mandatory. Growing up is optional. And that story brings up a great point. And like I've been trying to say this whole time, and I'm sure you're tired of it by now, and you're about to click off this podcast because you're tired of it, but I am going to say it again. You have to follow your dreams. If you're not living your dreams, you are not living. Working towards those dreams, if you are not trying at least to get them, what is the point? You need to follow where you want to go. You need to not stop for anything. Because sitting around and wasting your life is a waste of life. It is not what I believe is intended. Sitting at a desk or office job that you hate just because you make money and because money makes you happy, that's not happiness. That's what other people say is happiness. But you need to define your own happiness in life. Otherwise, what's the point? I have the honor of being able to be a part of the show at my high school that we are putting on this year, and that is Stand and Deliver, which is based on the movie of the same name, which starred Edward James Olmos and Lou Diamond Phillips. And it's a story about a school in the Los Angeles that is mostly full of Hispanic students, and it's not a good school. It's a very it's what a lot of people would consider like a slum school. Not a lot of kids make it through. A lot of them drop out. A lot of them come from bad families or in gangs, and they just overall don't want an education because they don't think that that's what they want to do with their lives, and they think they don't need everything. And then a teacher comes in and proves them wrong. He proves to them that in order to get places, you need to stand and deliver, that you need to stand up and you need to work hard. And through that, you make opportunities for yourself. Through that, you truly make your life better. And he does this by ending up teaching them calculus and having them pass AP exams. And people think, that's ridiculous, that can't be true. It was based on a true story. Jaime Escalante, the teacher, was a real person, and he taught these kids this lesson, that you need to follow your dreams, that you need to follow what you believe in, and you need to work hard at it in order to make your life better. No matter what other people say, no matter the surroundings that you're in, you can always strive for better. You can always do this. And we had the opportunity to have a couple people come in and speak. My director's father-in-law came in and spoke. Very, very inspirational guy. He's a very nice guy. He actually helped me out with some of my accent stuff, which I'm still pretty terrible at, but he tried to help me. And we had a couple of people's families come in and kind of tell stories about their lives as Hispanic Americans growing up and not having the belief of society behind them, saying that, oh, well, you're Hispanic and you're probably not going to get very far. And it's so unbelievable to me that things are like that, things that were like that, and even now things are not great for those people. It's just astounding to me that these people went through these kind of things when I feel like some of the problems I've had in my life sucked, but I can't even scratch the surface of the things that these people went through on a daily basis, not having teachers that believed in them, some of them not even having parents that believed in them, some of them that worked all day just to try to make money for their family. They didn't pursue an education because they didn't think that that would help them. They figured that working hard was going to be how they produced for their family, how they helped everything. And it's such a shame to me that these people weren't following their dreams, and they may not have even known what their dreams were because they were so preoccupied with this and believing that society wasn't, that they weren't good enough for society, and that's such a horrible thing. And it's, to me, that's absolutely, it's horrible to hear, but also so inspiring. Honestly, it's probably some of the greatest lessons that I've learned in my entire life, and it wasn't from some wise old man that lives on a mountain, and it wasn't from my parents giving me their dying advice. It came from people, normal people, like you and me. Normal people that have everyday lives, that probably share a lot in common with you, but you never know what they have done. You never know what they have done in their lives. You never know the things that they have gone through. And they have a story to tell. And everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has hardships they go through. But every single one of these people that spoke told the exact same story, the exact same message. They had the exact same words. So you need to follow your dreams, that you need to do something for yourself. You need to follow what you want. One of the people that spoke ended up becoming Lansing, Michigan's first Hispanic lieutenant in the police force. That's incredible to me. But you know what? The words that he said were, I did not aspire to be famous. I did not want to be the first Hispanic lieutenant. I did not want fame that came with any of this. He just wanted to be as good as he could be. As good as he personally could be. And he made history. Even though some may call it insignificant with stuff, that is significant to me. The first Hispanic lieutenant, something. And God, how long has Lansing been around? Hundreds of years? Not hundreds, but more than 100 years, of course. And the first one in the police department, first lieutenant. And he wasn't asking for it. He said that he almost would have been happier remaining a sergeant, but he took the job anyways. And he made history by following his heart, by following what he wanted to do. That's the kind of thing that inspires me. That is the kind of thing that makes me want to better myself, to follow everything that I want to do. And while I'm not 100% sure where my future's going to take me, I know that I'm going to try my damnedest to go where I want, to do what I want to do. And even if I don't have an entire clear picture of what that is right now, I'm going to work towards everything that I love, whether it be music or designing video games, whatever. I am going to try. So I'm going to close this off with a request. This week, I want everyone that listens to this to try. And that's such a grand statement, but you know what? Good. So interpret it the way you want it. I want everyone here to try. Try to do something. You may be thinking, God, what am I going to do? That's the point. Make it what you want it to be. Try. Try. Whether it be trying harder at something to get a better grade, whether it be trying something new, just try. Alright, at about 24 minutes, I think that's plenty long enough for my first podcast. So, to review, we went over an inspirational quote talking about following your dreams. We talked about the movie La La Land, which is fantastic. It's still out in theaters. You should go see it. Definitely, it's worth the money. It's worth the 2.5 hours. I told you an inspirational story about following your dreams. I told you a little bit of personal experience with some people that I had heard speak. So, remember, try. Try. That's it. Alright, everybody. It's been lovely speaking with you, and I'll see you in the next episode. See you guys later.